everyone. Welcome to another Poor Choices. I feel like I like looking like this. I don't know why.
It's
just
probably
like I feel like I'm looking at you.
my camera's at a weird angle. I'm not like properly centered. That's probably why.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But hi everyone. Hope you guys are having a good evening. I know you guys were expecting Leanne Starr. She had to last minute cancel due to some family stuff. So, we're here anyways, and we're gonna have a good show because the things that we're gonna talk about, well, for one, I didn't plan. For Leanne, I mean, it was just gonna go wherever. It was gonna go wherever. And now with a little planning went into this show.
We have a little bit of topics. Now she said, she was like, Leanne can't make it. Should we do just a sip and chill? So I try and find last minute. I said, no, let's do a sip and chill because Chrissy Mayer stirred everybody all up in a tizzy this morning. And I want to talk about
it.
I think it was this morning, maybe last night. I don't know.
It was yeah, I thought it was yesterday. I just remember thinking, like, I woke up and I'm like scrolling on Twitter, and I don't even know how it started, but she got into a little bit of a Twitter brawl with just pearly things. So
yeah. And then she tweeted and maybe this is what I was thinking this morning. She also tweeted, I don't know if you saw these, I can send these to you too. She tweeted this morning as like, why do guys marry women that are gonna leave them or whatever? And that just was Chrissy May.
Yeah.
She just
So Chrissy is, you know what, Chrissy, are you trying to get canceled again?
She really is. I'm here for it, honestly.
I think so. It's very entertaining.
Where's my popcorn?
But before we start, we have Ken with the $2 saying, lovely ladies, hello and good evening. Hello to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is going to be a great evening. So Chrissy, she's off another country. Not another country, just a person.
Several people, actually.
Several. But we can start with Chrissy. And the very first tweet I saw.
Oh, also sidebar while you're pulling that up. If you guys hear noises in the back, just let me know if my mic is too loud. We're installing a new door. And by we, I mean Duke is installing a new door. So you might hear banging. Apologies.
So I saw this, I guess yesterday in the morning, 7:00. Chrissy, why are you up this early? But anyways, taking relationship advice from a single person is like taking financial advice from a broke person.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get this one. I
thought it was really funny because it's like, I wouldn't take like serious financial advice, but I would be like, hey, maybe I won't gamble like you did or something like that. Like that's fine. I wouldn't be like, you suck, but I'd listen. But anyways, I don't know if it was this specifically when Bobo Bao said, "Don't let Pearl
he totally tagged that person on purpose."
But anyways, how do you feel about that? Would you take relationship advice from a single person?
I mean, as a single person who likes to give was a single person who likes to give relationship advice. No. Although I do think that there's value in hearing from an outside party. Do you know what I mean? From hearing from the other side. I don't think that there's anything. I want to put this in a certain way. I don't think that there's anything wrong with taking advice from people who have not had or are not in the same experience as you, because that's how you can go, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. Or, I never thought about something that way. However, depending on the person, that's just a circle you don't want to be in. Exactly, Nick. So if you have somebody, your single girlfriend or your single guy friend is miserable and talks about how whatever on both sides, then you probably don't want to take advice from them. And I always say don't take advice from anybody anyway. Like take little bits and pieces and grain of salt and maybe form your own plan. But if they're bitter.
I definitely agree with like Nick and you. I think that hello, Rogue. I think that most people can give some advice on a scale, and some advice you need to hear, and some advice you just ignore, whether it's good or not. Okay.
Yep.
You will only hear what you want to hear.
Yes.
That's happened so many times.
Exactly.
And we've had conversations, Tugs. Do you remember? Where I was like, you will hear what you want to hear, but I will say things when you're ready to hear it.
Yep. And
we all do that.
Yep.
We all do that. I've done that too. I've had solid advice from friends, and I was with a person that wasn't good, and I've heard it many times. He's not good for you. He's mistreating
Yeah.
you. Blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And you go, oh, but he says he loves me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Slap my face for not listening to that.
Nope. Don't listen to that one. Don't listen to the girl. And I say girl because women are more like this than men are. Don't say the girl that's just like, well, men suck anyway, and it just doesn't really matter. And like,
I don't like assigning a blanket statement for an entire gender. That's not fair.
Exactly.
You could say majority, sure, majority people do blah 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 blah, but I don't think it's fair to be like all women are evil, all men are evil.
No. We just more inherently as a whole tend to be certain ways, just the same way men tend to be certain ways. Like last night I was cracking up about like Kelly talking about how like Lynn gets on him because he'll put the clothes on the floor in front of the hamper or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, they're all the same. But then like you hear us girls talk about something and he'll come around the corner and be like, oh my god, you're all the same. I mean, as a whole, we have our
yeah. Oh my gosh, last night after the show, I go up to Mark and go, so what is it I do when I get mad all the time? And he's because I was asking because Kelly said when hair goes up, it just immediately changes. And he goes, it's not the hair. You just clean incessantly.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Rage cleaner.
Rage cleaner.
Rage cleaner.
I mean, I'd rather do that than yell. But he's like,
yeah, or like start a fight, or no.
I'm just like, I'm just gonna use all this energy and clean the house.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! And as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah. Whoopsies. So
yeah, he was funny last night, but I mean, I think that taking advice from anybody 100%, like we're detouring because that's how I like to do things. Emily, the heck is her name? Emily Retamhanova. I can't pronounce her name, but she, I don't know, she's a model or something, and she went viral a few days ago. Yeah, that one. She's divorced before 30, and she's like, oh, trying to make it into like a chic thing and all of this stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know that we should take advice from her, but maybe we watch and observe and go, I don't want to do that.
Yep.
Nope.
I mean,
or I do want to do things,
directly listen to her, but you can hear her and take what you need from what she's saying.
Yeah, which is don't take advice from her. And all the ticky-talky girls on the TikTokies that are stitching her little interview or commenting on her video, is like, oh sis, I've been divorced 4 times and I'm only 31. Like, queen, like, no. Stop. It's not cool. It's not cute. You're not cute. Stop it.
Yeah. Dr. Rachel brings up a good point here. No matter where you get your advice from, it's good to remember that every relationship is different. So what works for some couples isn't guaranteed to work for your relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. All right. So that was the first tweet I personally saw that started.
Did Curly Things see this tweet?
I believe so, because we're gonna get to that.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Let me see, because she's replied to a few of Chrissy's, but I think there was one that she replied to of Chrissy's, but I think it was deleted. But in any case, here, marriage really is a death sentence to a lot of men. Literally, suicide is not common in this. And I about died because I was like, are you serious? Where are you getting your stats on this? Marriage is a death sentence.
But I mean, I could see men committing or unaliving themselves, rather.
Oh, so do women. And we can let's pull up at least. Okay, so she's in America, right? So let's pull up the leading causes of death in America, 2022. I would love to see
obesity. I think it's tied now.
If marriage is up there. Because I would love to know.
It specifically says marriage.
That would be amazing. Okay, so just so y'all know I'm not lying, I'm gonna just make that larger. Leading causes of death: heart disease, cancer, COVID-19. I mean, we can maybe say accidents are part of marriage.
No, I think, well, yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
Accidents that
kidding.
turn into
Oh God.
stroke.
Stroke, chronic respiratory illnesses, Alzheimer's, diabetes. It's not even the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top
Now, listen,
8.
this is facts. Men do commit unaliving generally more than women. This is facts, and it's only gotten worse. She means from divorce. This also is probably what she was meaning, but this is one thing that drives me crazy about Pearl is she never drops like this is where I saw this study.
But she's
And
not specific.
if you go to look it up, like you struggle finding a lot of what she's rambling about. So I'm gonna Google it right now, live for y'all, to see if I can find it.
Yeah. And she means, yeah, well, I mean, it could, but this is the problem. You're on Twitter, and Twitter, where fights happen, is everybody's definition is different.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at specifically word for word what she's saying, and she says literally, marriage is really a death sentence for a lot of men, literally. So I mean, it's very misleading.
Oh,
It's very
see,
What?
here we go. Hold on, I'm trying to. This whole 2-screen thing is being wonky. I'm gonna. Oop. Now, I'm trying to find a year on this. I don't see one. Oh, 2003. Now this is 2003. This is the first one I found.
20 years old. So
it's super old, so we'll see if we can
outdated.
find an updated one. Whoa.
Reject all. Reject the cookies.
No cookies for you. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It says, it was observed that divorced and separated men were nearly 2.4 times more likely to unalive themselves than their married counterparts. However, that study failed to directly compare divorced men and women. While it informed us that divorced people are at higher risk of suicide than the married, it said nothing about the suicide risk of divorced men relative to divorced women. So I don't know where she's saying that's now you could, I guess, apply the statistics as a general where men are more likely to do it anyway, and then you apply that to divorce and maybe that maths. But girl, I need citations. I need you to
citation, please. I feel like my university professor being like, citation, please. APA, MLA format doesn't matter, but I need some reference, and I need some clarity in what you're saying, because it's very misinformed what she said, at least in this tweet. And it just I could just see people reading it and taking it word for word.
Yeah.
Which it's not.
Oh yeah, which is what happened to Rollo Tomasi, right, with his castration tweet, and then he was like, "Oh no,
on about that." She's still going on about that. She had a tweet while I was scrolling to look for tweets, and it was her whiteboard said, "Men cannot win in 2023. Vasectomies are less risky than marriage." It depends on what you want and outcome in life, but it.
Now, this different article says, and it seems to be the same year, but it's a different thing. It says, I can't even pronounce this, so I'm not going to, but I'm going to try. Kapausa, I don't know, in 2003, in parentheses, made an extremely important point that the married versus divorce unalive divide. Dr. Kapausa noted that there were huge differences between the unalive rates among divorced men as compared to divorced women. In fact, the data showed that compared to divorced women, divorced men were 9 times more likely to die by unaliving. Oh my gosh, that's awful.
That is awful.
For every one divorced woman who dies by unaliving, there are 9 men who do so.
What year?
I don't know if that's still the same, to be honest.
What year was this?
It's 2003 was that particular statistic, and this article goes into, it says in 2017 36,782 American men died by unaliving versus 10,000 American women. So the disparities are in general. So I mean, listen, statistically speaking, yeah, you could say that that's a big thing.
It's more common for men.
It's more common for men, but it's also more common for men as a whole. So you can't throwing out there, oh, it's literal suicide, blah, blah, blah. Chill, girl. Like, calm down. I don't know. Be more specific. And please give me facts, because I can't find a lot of the statistics she throws out there. And if anybody can find it, the stuff that she says, please, I want to know. I genuinely want to know. So please throw a link.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
So, let's see, Chrissy, what else did you do here? All right, let's see. And I think this is probably the one that you saw. Chrissy goes, "Why are you guys getting married and having kids with women who are who would completely screw you over?"
Oh my God, it's great. There's Rogue. There's Rogue right there. The first one, because evil hides his face. I love you, Rogue. And Chrissy's like, are you calling women evil? I think my favorite part about this whole thread was her, and she's asking legitimate questions, but the way she's coming off is that she's acting like a crazy person, and people are getting so mad at her in these replies, and it was so funny.
Yeah. Well, Mark goes, "My wife's hot," and I go, "She seems mid to me." So most women would screw their husbands over if they knew they could get a better deal. Why would you want to be with someone like that?
And that's, yeah, like her questions were just responses like that. There was a couple of people who responded something similar to the way this guy did. You know, well, because women like to screw over people, blah. And it's like, well, why would you date somebody like that? Why would you marry something like that? Like, red flags are everywhere, people, for the majority.
And that's the thing. And maybe it's a fallacy of some men or women that we are too hopeful. And, you know, at that time you think, oh, I can deal with this. And then maybe you can't, you know? It's very interesting seeing how some of these people are replying here. This guy says, real answer, most people settle. Think of it like puzzle pieces. You're looking for a piece and one seems like one would fit, but when you place it, you have to push it just a little bit. Deep down, you're thinking, sadly, I think this is most people. What's the difference between settling and choosing?
Yeah, Chrissy's response is, what's the difference between settling and choosing? And that there isn't one. It's the same thing. Like, you are choosing to do that. You are choosing
it's an active choice.
Yeah, still marry this person, whether you're male or female, even though you're like, I don't know if I'm willing to be what this person needs. You're still choosing to do it. It's not called settling. The only thing you settle is into blankets and you get comfortable and watch a movie. Okay? No, you're choosing to do that.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Are everywhere.
Even seeing the chat right now and their responses, you know, sounds like victim blaming. Some women are great at hiding red flags and how horrible they are.
Listen, that is facts. However, I will say men can be too. And that's
men
like
can be as well.
This percentage, right? And eventually those red flags come out. Usually at least in my experience from observing the people I know and the people I've seen, it's about 6 months in, whether it's a friendship, relationship, whatever, and it's always the things that you're talking to your friends about. So you and your girlfriends get together and they're like, oh my God, how's your relationship? And you're like, well, it's this. And then he said this weird thing to me, but it's fine. Like, I messed up. It's fine. And you're trying to immediately defend him from that thing or her from that thing. That's your red flag. You may not know it at the time, but that's immediately your red flag.
Then you reflect back years, months, weeks, whatever it is. And you're like, I should have known. I should have known that that guy or girl wasn't good for me because of that action. You know, you hear about even people like, oh, they don't show up for your birthday, or they they choose something. Oh, what was it? Someone mentioned they chose something else to do on their birthday.
Oh,
or maybe. No, it's a reality television show. Sorry, I mixed up real life and reality. Yeah, so yeah, the person decided to go off and hang out with friends on their person's birthday party, which big red flag. And they a bit after, so you know, you live and you learn, and I think, you know, I a lot of times I go back to. At least since watching Shad's video, you know, every time you go into a date, it's like an interview for your husband or for your wife. You really want to find the person, really listen, ask some really hard questions and stuff like that, because you can suss it out with the responses. And the more you know them without that like immediate falling in love or falling for them, you will be able to figure that out a lot more easily. And don't do any dirty stuff right away, because that really muddles the water. It does. It
It's true.
does. Especially
It's
for
true.
girls. You love with your body parts.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. So, yeah, Frog
Yep.
Finance is dating is gay. So are frogs, so I hear from Alex Jones. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Frogs are the biggest of hits. How the heck are we
Yeah.
supposed to know ahead of time? By paying attention? Chrissy kills me.
But in some ways, like
Oh,
think about how a person treats a waiter, a person treats their family, the person treats their
Mhm.
friends. These things do indicate a type of person. So you got to
The way
really
they talk to you when they're annoyed, that kind of thing. And not that's saying that's ending their relationship, red flag, but it's
Mhm.
things that you need to observe. And if you can't talk to the person about it, then that's the red flag.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I think on Twitter there's a lot of black pillars and red pillars. I gave up on after divorce, single, depressed after 10 years, and I think the coof put the last nail in the coffin, too old to have a child with a woman my age, and I don't relate to younger chicks. I'm on the being alone cruise in my early 40s. F it, I rescue animals now. Oh, that is definitely too black pill for me. Don't give up
Yeah.
hope. There's always someone out there for you if you want to find her.
That's fair.
And you can find someone who's actually young and relates to older people too.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot. I'm not saying I'll date you, but I'm just saying, like, as a early 30s, I relate more to like the older generation in this community.
Same. Same.
Oh, God.
Big same.
But yeah, Chrissy, she's so funny.
Is
Good
this why
question.
Frank will? Oh my god.
Is this why Frank won't put it in you? He has it. Oh my God, he has it in me right now as he tweet. Oh my God, Chrissy. Adam says, good question. I was just marrying someone who wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, he interneted right. This idea is triggering a lot of men right now, Adam. Some men would rather have the freedom to choose poorly than not face consequences on that poor decision. And
I mean,
we
not
see
wrong.
it right now a lot. So I think that I like to have the hope, and maybe females especially are too hopeful about these types of situations, and maybe as a in general unrealistic with expectations in a relationship. And I think it's just sad.
It is. It's very sad. And social media has done that. And, the glitz and the glam and all that. And I mean, we've talked about this several times, but
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
it's
say.
illusion. And it's just, and then that goes for women too. I commented, it was like on the flip side, like, why do women also keep doing this? Why are you having babies with a guy that you don't even like? Like, what's wrong with you?
I think at least, for females, and this is maybe coming on my, with my views, like if I have at least a baby, then I have something I can love and give a lot of my energy to, even if our relationship didn't work out. No,
Well, but here's the thing though. That's not how people think. And also that poor baby. But that's neither here nor there. People think that, oh, well, I'll just have a baby with him and that means we'll be together forever.
I will
You know,
fix
he can't leave.
everything. I hate when people think the babies will fix things. It makes it worse.
The puppy won't fix your relationship either.
Yeah. But I know, like, women get money from babies. So I don't
true.
immediately think that when I think about, breaking up in a relationship. Like, Mark and I have had this conversation, if we end up not being together, he gets what he initially started off with, and then we divide everything in half. I think that's very fair.
Write that down in a prenup.
It might have been written down.
I say that because we're slightly detouring again. Kevin Costner, we all know him, we love him, Yellowstone, etc. He just got kind of blindsided a bit by his wife of 20-something years with a divorce, and she tried to get out of the prenup because I think she wanted more. I don't know all the nitty gritty details, but she wanted more. She wanted something different, and blah blah blah. And a judge ended up siding with him and was like, no, you will agree to these prenups. Like, if you didn't want to do this, you shouldn't have signed it, and you're going to get whatever. they signed on. She wanted more. So like instead of 40% of the estate, she wanted like 50% or whatever, and she wanted to redo the prenup or
But
whatever. Like, hey,
you're divorcing Kevin Costner and getting whatever, even
right.
like
Why did you divorce
20
Kevin Costner? First of all,
20%, even at 20%, girl, you're set for life. Why are you greedy? It's not like you're young either.
Like, did he kick you up and down the street? No, then settle down. You're fine.
And that's the thing, is like people get so freaking greedy, and it's just it's annoying. You know, even if I was with you said 20 years.
Yeah, they've been together, I think, about 20 years.
If I was with Kevin Costner 20 years later and like say 2 kids, I'd be like, yeah, just as long as I can live modestly for the rest of my life in a like
he has a ranch, for God's sakes. You have acres of land. Go outside.
Yeah.
He's getting on your nerves.
The crazy part.
Take a walk.
If you get one house of his, you're set. You don't have anything else.
Yeah.
You really don't.
No.
But people anyways, but that's just me.
She's trying to capitalize on that Yellowstone success, because I don't know if that was I mean, I could be wrong. I'm speculating, but
absolutely. Greed is terrible.
Same with Giselle Bundchen 20 years later. Don't get me started. Anyway. Justin.
Whoa!
Justin, where have you been? I'm so excited to see you.
Welcome. We've got a celebrity in the chat.
We have a celebrity in the chat. Lance Bass, everybody. Hi, Justin.
Wow. Andrew Matthews for £5 says, not sure if I can support this channel anymore. Anti-dirty stuff and puppies. Boo. All right. Pee-pee poo-poo. There we go. Dirty stuff. You're welcome.
Anti-puppies. They just can't fix your relationship. And we're not anti-dirty stuff. We're just saying be smart with your brain cells. Not these brain cells, these brain cells.
Yeah.
Before you.
So it seems like men and women are just like at each other, especially in the red pill space. You got like the feminists, which are on one extreme, and then you got the red pill, who are the I would say the opposite extreme.
Oh God.
And you know, it's just a lot of man hating, women hating each other, and it feels almost too negative. And you know, I thought the reason we're talking about this is so that we can work on, you know, bettering relationships, becoming aware of this, and then hopefully you find someone that is you know, at the same like expectation that you want in a relationship. So yeah, it's a shame.
They've all become the same person.
Yeah, we love to hate on each other, I guess. And yes, hate gets more clicks. I mean, look at the news.
Oh Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Don't touch grass, please.
Oh God. I just here I did have Chrissy's reply to Pearl's death sentence one. So Pearl says, marriage really is a death sentence to a lot of men. Literally, suicide is not common in this. So Chrissy says, many things cause suicide far more often than marriage. Serving in the military, body dysmorphia, not having friends, death of a loved one, working in certain professions. If we were to avoid all things that might cause suicide in some way, we'd all be leading small, boring, uninspired lives. Risks and responsibilities give purpose and make life worth living.
That's fair. That's a really good point. And I would argue against, you know, I'm not saying that Pearl is completely wrong. We've looked up the stats, so it seems to be, if you math the math, it seems to line up. But I would argue that in general, because of the hatred, the poor men get, that by itself leads to unaliving way more than it should. You know what I mean? So.
Craig, Chrissy missed Pearl's point, but Pearl didn't make her point very well either.
That's fair. She never does. She knows what she's doing. Honestly, I have to respect the game. I respect.
No. Yeah, she's doing a good job creating impressions on Twitter. Absolutely, getting people very upset and responsive to her tweets. I honestly really don't like going through her Twitter because it's just too negative.
Like, girl, she's at the point, and I don't know if she's going through something, and I pray for her, but she's at the point now where if she walked out and saw the most beautiful sunset in her entire life and it was just so gorgeous, she'd be like, I blame women for this. You know what I mean? Like, go outside.
No, she saw
girl.
the most beautiful thing. She'd be like, it's men that made this happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or something. But I mean, yeah, I think that this is the problem with talking on the internet. Points aren't made clearly, and this happens. So
Justin says, marriage is only a death sentence to men who are already on death row to begin with. Ooh, a counterpoint. I like it. That's deep for Chrissy.
you go, girl. Yas, queen. Feels so weird saying yas, queen.
I am mid. It's fine. It's okay. I agree.
We got called mid. That's fine.
Oh yeah, here I'll read.
I don't really
super
care.
Chat from Ken. For Canadian $5, you two ladies are more in the middle, not either extreme. Frog was just being frog.
I see what you're saying. Like being in the middle for this stuff, because I don't think either are fully to blame, because I like to take responsibility for the things that I've done in relationships and the things that have been done to me, which suck, but it's happened. But I might have let myself stay there a little longer and learned. And if I always blame everyone else, and this is with things we see even on the internet, not just even in the relationship space, but if you keep blaming other people, you're not going to better yourself.
That's fair. That's
and
point, actually.
I think being in the middle, where I am hopeful. I think that both men and women are great, and there are people who suck as well, and just have to work on yourselves. I think individualism is better than just calling out all the general space, y'all suck or great or whatever the words are. Because the thing I don't like about these certain spaces is you keep blaming other people, but how can we work and improve this? Or do you just want to just complain? It almost sounds like people just want to complain.
They want to complain about everything. Nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. Good God.
We got the Smoking Patriot for $20 or $19.99. The red pill, as it's known today, hasn't been around long. Man-hating and putting the boot to them has been going on for decades. Men are just now standing up and speaking and calling out reality too. Hey, it's fine to do that, but I think that calling out the reality and not figuring it out, it's doing the same thing as the feminists are. Blaming others is not going to change anything unless you just want to stay by yourself. I don't think I want to stay by myself. Well, not by myself, but I think that people can come to terms, and we built this world together. Men didn't just build this, women built this. I'm not saying we physically built it, but there is help in having two genders together in society. I know a lot of the red pill spaces think that we can live without women. Sure, go ahead. You can try. It won't be as efficient, but you can try. Same thing with women. Women can live without men, but it won't be as efficient in a lot of ways as well. So, and that's something I've even learned watching a video of Think Before You Sleep, back when he apparently was MGTOW.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I didn't know he was MGTOW.
I think that we all find these movements, and then it just gets out of hand. Like, there was Evie Magazine wrote an article about this girl, and I ended up following her. Her handle's like religious hippie, and I quote tweeted her after seeing the article on Evie. She was wearing this super cute, she had like a little sweater on and like this really beautiful blue dress, and she had posted the photo on Twitter, and it was like mass fit, like Catholic mass. She was going to church. That was her outfit. And the dress stopped like right before her knees, a little bit before her knees. And the comments underneath that were from black pill, red pill men that were like, yeah, I feel bad for your fiance. You're not posing with him. You're taking this photo by yourself, this, that, and the other. You shouldn't be wearing that to church. You're not covered up. But like, you literally cannot win. If she had posted in a little crop top and stuff, she'd be a sleut. She didn't. She's dressed very modestly and looked adorable. Like, I want this dress she was wearing. It was so cute. She looked so adorable, and she's pretty. And they were on her, calling her a whore. All of these things because she posed by herself. And it was just like, And that's where this movement on either side has led to. Like, you need to chill. She's dressed so modestly comparatively, but even in general, she would have been led into all kinds of churches. Like, what is wrong with you? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I feel bad for your fiance, this and that and the other. You should not be with you. Why is your ring on the opposite hand? It's like, cameras are backwards. It's not on the opposite hand. It's just because the camera's like, use your brain. Oh my God, it was awful. I was like, this poor girl. She's taking it well though. So
Jeez, we got Darian Murphy for $9.99. Most of society don't really care about men's concern. I appreciate Pearl for this, so I don't see her as negative. I like Chrissy, but she's in the feminist camp, so I can see why she doesn't care. I think it's nice that Pearl sticks up for men, yes. And I think that the hard thing that I have with that is, despite the good that she's doing, she is ruthlessly mean to a lot of women when it's unneeded.
Yeah.
And her going after like the trad cons out there. I mean,
yeah.
Or maybe, okay, let's look at it as maybe she was trying to get clicks and interactions on Twitter, trying to be inflammatory. Either way, there's a lot of like, it seems like fighting or whatever on Twitter. And I've seen her on her show. She is unnecessary. Like, it almost seems so mean sometimes to some of the women. Overly mean, but I mean, that's just...
She could have she's gotten to the point where she could have the most genuine, like Candace Owens, who's completely flipped the switch, or even not a Candace Owens, even somebody who grew up, got married young, did everything right, and she still would be like, well, here you are on my show, so you're a terrible person. It's like, what? Where did the Pearl go? What's happening right now? She's just gotten so anti, and I don't know if it's because she's getting older and she's just having her own crisis, which, again, girl, praying for you, but she's a weasel. She goes after everything. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they all do. They've all gone after. Rollo's gone after the trad cons. I don't know what the fight is between the Red Pill movement and the trad cons, which arguably is what you want for these men, to have good women by your side. Now, yes, there are women grifters. I know, blah, blah, blah. But you want that, and you're turning on them too. Rollo and what was it? Was it Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh? One of the two. Rollo and Michael and one of the Daily Wire guys got into a huge freaking fighting match. I'm like, you guys want the same thing. Why are you picking a fight with him? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, and Adrian, she says she's mean. Who cares? But that's exactly the same sentiment feminists say about men. So, like, I want the idea of equality across the genders, and I say this very carefully because I know what people are going to do with this, in terms of treating them individualistically. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to hate on all women because the feminist movement. I'm going to hate on all men because of, I don't know, everything that's been happening on the internet. Absolutely not. I think it's just, I think it's sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like even just the idea of like, especially with entertainment, with Hollywood, are we going to hire people based on a gender, a culture, a color? No, it's going to be based on a person. I'm going to treat you based on what I've interacted with you with.
I'm not saying they're not saying things that are not wrong, but a Rogue makes a good point here. They pick terrible people to be on, right? So this is also the point. And I find it entertaining, don't get me wrong. Like, I watch whatever podcast and Fresh and Fit, just, like everybody else does, and it's fun. But at some point, if all you are picking are these girls to be on your show that are the worst of the worst, and you very rarely pick ones that are either in the middle and are learning their lesson or changing their ways, or were never that way to begin with, and you don't have that balance, like, that's all anybody is going to see on both sides. If you have only crappy men, pick one. if you only have crappy men that fit this mold, the F-boy mold, for as an example, if that's all you have in your show, as a feminist, you talk about how terrible men are because this and this and this, and this guy plays games, blah, blah. That's all anybody's going to see. And it's going to flip that switch so bad. You have to have a balance. Yeah, these girls are ridiculous and they're hilarious. And it's like, use your brain. Like, what is wrong with you? But they don't represent everybody. They may represent a lot of what's going on in the younger generation now. And I feel so awful for the generation behind us. But you have to have that balance for the younger men generation to see, the younger women generation to see too. You have to have those balances. So I always love it when, you know, especially the whatever podcast, because they do it more. They have like
a better faith argument, like a good faith where I can actually have a conversation.
Balance. Yeah, that is what drives me bonkers. And it's entertaining, don't get me wrong. And we loved watching it at first, but after a while it gets tiring.
Repetitive.
So repetitive. We get it. We get it.
Well,
and wearing the cross on her neck is wearing it because she thinks it's cute. I get it. Like, these girls are dumb. I'm aware. Thank you. Can we maybe have some balance? It drives me crazy. Like, please find balance. If you are wanting to advocate for these things for men and or women, whatever podcast you have, then you need to bring those men and those women on as well to show that yes, this can happen. Yes, this can. Rollo could have easily reached out to Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and Michael Knowles and been like, hey, you guys, although I don't agree with you, as a whole are representing what we're trying to teach men to look for. Come on my show and let's discuss. And I want you to school these young girls or whatever. Instead, they fought like children for no reason. And it's like, and Rollo started it. I'm sorry, but he did. And Pearl started it with them the other day. Yeah, he said, he quote tweeted something that Michael Knowles, I mean, and was it, I don't remember who it was, Ben or Matt, I think it was, one of the two. And same with Pearl. She posted pictures of the three of them and we're like, these TradCon guys are blah, 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 or whatever. The big fight she got into with them. You are single. You're 26 and you're single. By your own logical arguments, you are done. Right? So why are you picking on these guys, except for Michael Knowles? Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh have been married for 15 years. They have been married for half of your life. What is wrong with you? You should be having them on your show to counteract these other girls and these other men who are the Tates of the world and the whatever that are these so far extremes the other way, to counteract that and be like, look, listen, this is what we're talking about. Your wife does this. Well, how did you find her? What was the qualities you look for? This and that and the other, you know, that kind of thing. And they won't do it. They won't do it. They'd rather have all these snooty girls who are dumber than a box of rocks on and just have that one opinion. It drives me bonkers. Drives me crazy. Anyway, that's my rant.
Okay. So I'm just looking at this tweet. The TradCons push marriage because they aren't old enough to know better yet. They don't know the reality of what they're pushing, marriage.
No better. They're both of them. Well, 2 out of the 3 are almost 40 years old. They've been married for over 15 years, or just about 15 years, I think. Matt Walsh is about to hit the 15-year mark. Ben Shapiro's been married for over 15 years. They have multiple children. Their wives respect them. They do the submitting thing that they're talking about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, they do say, like, listen, you just get married and it's fine. I do wish that Ben and Matt specifically, because they usually talk about it more than Michael Knowles does, I wish that the 3 of them would sit down and be like, listen, we say we will just get married and it's the way of the world and that's the way it works because blah, 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 blah. But I wish that they would go into more detail. Like they haven't. They usually just bring it up either when they're getting into fights on Twitter or they'll bring it up depending on the topic on their videos. But I wish that they would sit down together and have like a cigar talk. They do this sometimes with each other where they have.
They should do a dad cast.
Yeah, they should do a dad cast. Come on our show, guys. I love all 3 of these men. But I would love to talk with them and have people who pick on them and who make fun of them, like Pearl is doing now. It's like, first of all, they don't have to spill anything. But yes, if you're going to push a message, then yeah, you probably should sit down and be like, okay, this is what I looked for, and this and this and this. And Matt Walsh really went into it. Because he and her got into a tiff, him and Pearl got into a tiff, and he talked about how he was completely broke when he and his wife got married. They weren't making any money. He goes, and the difference was that she saw a drive in me and knew it was going to be worth it in the long run. And that is so important, I think, to hear, because you have Rollo, Tate, Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, before he died, being all, well, you have to have money and you have to be this and you have to that. That's not the point. Yes, money is helpful. Not saying you should be homeless on the street, okay? But you should have drive. If you're a lump on the log and you're working at McDonald's and all you want to do for the rest of your life is work at McDonald's and you can barely afford your own rent, let alone kids and blah, 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 that's a problem. What's not a problem is you working at McDonald's because you got fired from your job during the beer pandemic and you're trying to look for a good job again to get settled and blah, 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 blah. This and that and the other, and you're working towards bettering yourself and getting to where you were before. That is what's not a problem. So yes, I started dating you and you were working at McDonald's. We had top ramen for dinner and girls especially, will be like, oh my God, what a loser, blah, blah. No, because the difference is my loser and your loser is staying there. And when you pop out a kid because you think that's going to fix the relationship 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you're still going to be that loser with a guy that's working at McDonald's. Whereas I'm going to be with somebody that has worked his way up to whatever, who has put the drive in to be the best firefighter that he could be, the best businessman that he could be, the best, I really like building computers, so I'm going to be the best computer builder. I don't even know what the proper term is for that I could be, and blah, blah, blah. That's the difference. Right. And so Matt Walsh went on that tirade, and that is where the red pill movement doesn't. They're just like, well, you gotta have your Bugattis and you gotta have your sit down, calm down. Not everybody is like that. You are like the teeny tiny % of men. And yeah, women fall all over you, but you treat them like garbage. So what's the point?
I learned what a Bugatti is today.
A Bugatti.
I thought it was a
Bugatti.
I thought it was a piece of bread. Like a baguette. Anyway, sorry, derailed the conversation there. So, anyways, we got a couple super chats here. Imagine hello for $2 says men and women are a symbiote circle. We need each other. Absolutely, I completely agree with you
Men
on
are
that.
The Venom to my Tom Hardy. Okay.
Darren Murphy for $9.99 says, in quotes, mean to women is a matter of perspective. The entirety of society lies to women to use them and to not hurt their feelings, men included. I entirely agree with you on that. Okay.
Listen, we're not saying that they're wrong. It's just getting old.
It's getting old. And hey, being, the way you say things can come off completely different on how you phrase it.
Yes, that's very true. And listen, I'm not as a girl, we're emotional and we're kind of ridiculous that way. And I'm all for being like, get it together. You know what I mean? I get it. And that's what men are for, because men don't normally, in a general sense of the word, don't get that way. They look at us like we're insane. And then they say, are you done? And then they provide us with solutions or calm us down or whatever. That's the whole point. But degrading them 24/7 when they're too young, mostly, and too dumb and too brainwashed to know any better, I don't think is helping either. Am I making
No, because that's exactly what the feminists have been doing to men.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why I don't agree with being how I say mean to women on the show. So telling women the truth is often treated as being mean. No, you can tell the truth. See, I can tell, like, say Tugs and I are in a relationship and I'm like, Tugs, why is your freaking crap all over the floor all the time?
Because I'm messy. Kiss me.
I could also be like, hey honey, your shirt's on the floor. Like, is this clean or dirty? I just want to, I'm just trying to clean the house.
Yeah,
that comes off at two different meanings, right? And two people interpret that differently. So you can tell the truth, but there are ways to say it that are, and I have gotten into debates about this. And yes, men are a lot more direct than women, but women are emotional creatures. So if you want to evoke a better response, then maybe you should, if you want to actually have them improve and have a good faith conversation, then maybe think about how you say it as well.
Okay, 2 points. Pearl makes her show for men. I think that's a mistake. Yes, it's nice to hear it from a woman, from a man. I hear it. I get it. I understand. I got it. However, I think that she should switch and she's instead alienating the women. Does that make sense? So I don't think I think that was a bad choice on her part. I mean, it worked because she's making a bunch of money, but I think that if she had gone the opposite direction, she may not be so cranky at this point. Also, it's how they're delivering the message instead of the message itself. Fun fact, yes. Women, we pick up on everything, whether you agree, disagree, hate it, wish we were different. But I know. Yes, it's how you say things. And I point that direction because he's over there. We do this all the time. It's like, okay, do you hear yourself? No? Okay. Am I being ridiculous? Probably, but do you also hear yourself? And that goes on both sides. We think we're saying things one way, it comes out something completely different. And that's where that's where you have to have trust in your partner, where you can sit down and be like, okay, this came out this way. This is literally how it sounded when it came out of your mouth. Do you know that? Do you hear yourself? Like that kind of thing. So yes, for women especially, and I'm not asking you guys to understand it because we don't even understand it, but yeah, the way you say things which is like the joke reels and Instagram, TikTok videos where it's like, the way you put your shoes on this morning, I think you don't love me anymore because you put your left foot down instead of your right foot. And it's like, yeah, we pick up on that stuff. Don't even, we do. Yeah. Oh, it's like a sound. It's like it's a TikTok sound. It's really funny, and it's usually like a caption that says like me calling my husband at work, like, I was just wondering if you still love me because the way you put your shoes on this morning sounded a little aggressive, and I just want to make sure that you still love me. And also, can you please bring me chicken nuggets? And I don't know like what the original sound was, but usually girls will use it to like me at home all day while my guy's at work, like me calling him every 5 minutes to make sure he still loves me, even though we've been married for 15 years, or whatever. Like we're dumb and we can't, I don't know how to change it. I don't know if it's a biological thing. I don't know if it's a societal thing. I have no idea, but all of us are the same. Would you love me if I was still a worm? Like we do stupid stuff like that. So yeah, if you go, yes, I would love you if you were still a worm, it's like, sorry, I didn't mean to make you mad. But if you're like, yes, honey, I would still love you if you were a worm. Okay. There's a difference there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so.
John Thomas for $20. Thank you so much, John. Says there was a TikTok going on with the audio from probably 1950s saying how women can attract men while the women are progressively uglifying themselves. I've never seen that. Have you?
No, but I want to.
And John, are you saying that like they're progressively uglier through the years or in this audio? Like I just, because I haven't seen it.
Progressively uglier, because I'm sure, and I haven't heard it, but I'm gonna guess how women can attract men: standing up straight, dressing in a dress, putting makeup on, doing your hair, presenting yourself a certain way. That would be my guess. And like we've all become, as I say that as I'm wearing like a
oh yeah. I remember seeing a meme of like a girl in like this cute little dress, and then there's the girls in sweats.
Yes.
Afterwards.
Yes.
Is that the one? That's the one.
Probably okay. It's probably something similar would be my guess. But
yeah. So if it's the same one, hey, fashion trends have changed. Yes, I definitely think that induction of Lululemon has changed it to be lazy wear. But everyone's different on what they like to wear. I'm not gonna lie, I'm wearing tights right now. I work at home. I basically am in pajamas all the time. Whether I'm at literal work in X-ray or here, I don't wear nice clothes to work because that's not a good idea. I've been puked on, I've been peed on, and it's not fun. So I am gonna wear my crappy clothes.
Yeah, right.
So, but if I go out, maybe I will wear something nice. I always do like summer because of dresses. I can just throw on a dress.
So I've seen this thing, and a couple of the accounts I follow on my private Instagram. This one girl, she calls it dopamine dressing. So like she'll get up in the morning and she's groggy and she's like in her sweatpants or whatever, her little moo nightgown, whatever, and then she takes the kids to school and she comes home and like by now she's awake, right? And so what she'll do is she'll do like her gross tasks, like cleaning the bathroom, whatever, where you don't really want to look nice. But then she'll dopamine dress, where she puts on a cute dress and she puts on a little makeup and like makes herself, gets a hit of dopamine because you're like, oh, I look so pretty. Yeah. Right. And then that's how she feels and stuff by the time her husband comes to work, whatever. I'm like, I've never heard of that before, but she's so right. Like the other day, even, I went to lunch with some friends I haven't seen in a while, me and Duke, and I put on a sundress. I still had my messy bun. And like, it wasn't anything glamorous, but I felt so good because I was like, I am not wearing yucky cleaning house clothes for moving and covered in dirt and they feel so good. It's like dopamine dressing. So I like that as like a thing. Like that, I feel like that's a thing.
That is really cute. And Andrew put in the chat, if I dress nice at work, you gain yourself a doctor. Trust me, I don't want to ever date doctors.
First of all, the only ones that date the doctors are the ones that don't actually want to be there. Okay. The goal is to date the doctor, get pregnant, and then quit. That's the goal for those nurses specifically, at least in my experience.
I just did my thing. I actually, so I have a lot of friends who are doctors, because I am probably very, very friendly at work. I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of nurses. I talk to the cleaning staff. I talk to the porters, et cetera, et cetera. Like at my previous job, like very well known through the hospital because I'm just chitty chatty. The way I've seen some of the doctors move in the hospital, not a fan. Not their work schedule's horrible. They do make good money. Okay, I don't want to deny that they make good money, but I want someone that's
people
present.
don't think about. They don't think about it. Oh, a doctor makes great money. I want to date a doctor. Yeah, you'll never see him.
I want them present. Night shift, they're gone. Working.
Especially if you are dating a specialty doctor, like a brain surgeon or something. Oh, Patrick Dempsey's so hot. I'd love to be Meredith Grey. No, that man in real life would never be home. Ever.
He's just too busy.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got the Smoking Patriot again for $4.99 says, FYI, Rollo has been inviting everyone on the Daily Wire to come to Vegas to have this discussion. Crickets every time he makes the offer. When does he make the offer? Does he DM them?
Oh, well, here's my thing. And I would like this question answered too, because you know more than me, obviously, Patriot. Was this after the fights and the pettiness on Twitter, or was it before? Because if it was after, I wouldn't give him the time of day either, because why? Yeah, the message would be good, but you have started this relationship this certain way and I don't need to engage. Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense? So if it was after, if it was before, then I can't defend them. But afterwards, if you picked a fight like Pearl is doing, right, with these guys, you picked a fight and then she goes, oh, well, I was just kidding, Ben and Matt, your knowledge on marriage will be great. You should come on my show. Like, nah, F you. I don't want to go on your show. I'll do my own show. Screw you. You know what I mean? So that would be my question.
I know someone had asked in the chat how we feel about Rollo. I mean, he's only been very nice to me, and I like him as a person. And our interactions have been great. I have not personally had any terrible or negative interactions with him. So, you know.
Do I think some of the things he says is a little yes, but I don't know him enough to be like, oh, he's terrible and I hate him.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We say this even in our like nerd space. If someone has a different opinion from you, do you excommunicate them as a friend?
Yeah.
No.
And the same with Pearl too. Like we can talk about how she's driving us crazy all
all the time.
I'm sorry. How she's being whatever, but that doesn't mean that she's not a good person. I don't know her. I've never met her. So I can't comment on whether I like her or not. I could comment on what she's saying, which I think is for the most part bonkers. Lately, whether or not there's some truth to it, she's just coming about it such an aggressive way lately. It's like, girl, are you okay? Do you need a chocolate bar? I will get you a chocolate bar.
So Justin with $5 says, so refreshing to see a show in our circles that's more open-minded and isn't the predictable opinions and perspectives that we all see too often. And that's the thing. Most people are in the middle, I find.
I get you, Justin.
And yeah. I think there is fairness in everything people say on the extreme sides, And then there's some things that are just like, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to take notes. And then I'm going to process it how I want to. And,
Yeah.
not everything people say is bad,
Justin has always been based. Fun fact.
Ooh. Darian Murphy for $4.99. Feminism has such a strong control over women's mind. Pearl's approach is an attempt to shock them out of it. I don't think a softer approach works.
Okay, but counterpoint, I agree with you, but also, has this approach worked? Let's bring her guests back on the show, which most of them, her regulars, have been on the show multiple times. Denalva, who I love to watch because she's just such a train wreck. I love her. Honestly, she has her convictions, she sticks by them. So kudos. But she's not, they've been aggressive with her. Some of the male guests have been so just downright, like, not actually like hitting her, but like with knowledge, and she will not change. So does that work? Let's poll people and find out. Let's all of Rillo's guests, all of Fresh and Fit's girls, all of Pearl's girls, how many of them have actually gone, oh my God, I must change my ways?
Well, and the funny thing is, so when we went to Access Vegas, one of their close friends, I forgot her name, the one in the pink outfit, really pretty, the brown hair. Oh, crap, what's her name?
I can't think of it either, but yes.
Anyways, but she wanted a guy who made like, tens of millions of dollars, doesn't care the height. Anyways, they're close. She's close friends with them. From what I could tell, they hang out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Has she changed?
Nope. No, they don't. That's the thing is, it's like, I'm not saying like the softer approach is going to work either, but obviously this isn't working either. You don't see the girls that go on whatever podcast, even after talking to Candace Owens or whatever, you don't see them go, oh my gosh, my stars, these women were right and these men are so right, I'm going to change my ways. No, the girl that was wearing the cross that Candace called out, she didn't take the cross off and apologize for wearing the cross. Like, what? No, they it's like teenagers. You tell them not to do something and they're going to do the exact thing that you told them not to do. Or a toddler, don't touch that, that's hot. What's the toddler do? Ow, my hand, right?
Yeah.
They're children. It's a childish mindset, and we all go through it, and the aggression
you eventually will understand what will make you happy and not happy, and that's up to you to decide.
They'll figure it out on their own, but that's going to be years later. Like you jerking them around and calling them, oh, you're such a sloot and blah blah blah, like that puts them on a defensive, right? Well, I don't want to listen to you now.
So I have a video here. Where did it go? Here. That it actually, if this is real, it kind of does break my heart a little bit, because this is what we're actually finally seeing. Maybe the red pill space affecting us. So Amala put up here, women claim she lost her boyfriend to red pill content. What are your thoughts?
Oh no.
If this is real or not, I don't know.
So my boyfriend turned red pill, and at this point we haven't spoke for about a month, and I can't cope with the fact that someone who I saw is so compassionate and thoughtful and intelligent, so caring and open-minded, just completely did a 180. They were just so supportive and caring, and even when I would have my self-sabotaging episodes, they still loved me. They really felt like a blessing, and being with them made me realize like all the things that I needed to work on. But it came to a point where I started noticing differences in them. Like, I started noticing that they would talk to me like I was like their child, like something that they had to have control over. And then it evolved into hypothetical arguments all the time. Like, just about the stupidest stuff about like child support and what makes a woman valuable and like what women want in a man, all that. I'm like, I don't know why you're talking to me about this. And it would get so bad because it really just pride at my insecurities, especially when talking about like women whose dads left. And I would always just end up crying and asking why. Like, why are you doing this? And as someone who has like poor emotional control, it took a lot to not just like blow up all the time. And it was so hard to just step back and be like, okay, that's like, he's just going through a weird phase. That's not the person who he is. It just kept progressing. And no matter how much I tried to improve myself and just give him what he was asking for, I felt like it just wasn't enough. I still don't understand what he was asking for, because these types of women that red pill podcast men talk shit about, like, I don't have a lot in common with.
Right. What does it say? This is not to say there isn't anything wrong with women who party and dress how they want and they don't have anything in common. Women aren't the issue. We got a lot of people saying what's his side of the story. And this is why I say, even if this is real or not real, we are getting something one-sided.
Well, I would be interested to know, like, she says she doesn't have anything in common with these girls that are on these podcasts, which could be true. But what does she mean by that? Does she mean she doesn't, like, she specifically mentions the ones who party and dress how they want. She seems to be dressed pretty good here. I don't know if that's her normal wear, but she's got like a little hoodie on or whatever. Like, she's not showing her boobs and being like, oh my God, my boyfriend left me. So maybe she is. And I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to feel about it. Okay. Continue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't go out. I don't party.
Nope.
I don't dress really showy. I'm not a gold digger. Like, all I wanted was to just be loved by somebody. I felt like I was being torn apart. Like, I did this, but it wasn't enough. I don't know what to do. It just wasn't going to work for them because I was too American and I didn't understand, and the women overseas are better. And it just really broke my heart. It broke my heart so bad. And it got to the point where my family witnessed it firsthand, like what they were doing, and that's when it ended. And I can't find closure because I'm like, what happened to that person? I feel like I don't know who this person is. What happened to the person I felt safe with? Because who they became, sometimes I did not feel safe. And it just hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. And I can't wrap my head around it. I can't believe it. I feel like red pill men stole my future husband from me because I really, really thought this was the person. And even after talking about this, I'm like physically shaking because it was just so bad. Like, at this point in my life, I don't want anybody. I don't want to be with anybody. If they're going to do that to me, if they could just treat me that way.
Ooh, what's her? I can't quite see it. What is her handle?
Virgin who can't drive with an E on that drive as a 3.
I'm gonna see if I can find her Instagram. Because now I'm curious.
Because it would be interesting to see if that is her in her TikTok, or if someone claimed that.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I see. Is that a reposter account?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Gosh,
Let's
dang
see if I
it.
can find her.
I don't know if it's real or not.
Let's see if I can find her. Because you know somebody had
It's on
to have
TikTok.
posted
Yeah,
about
not IG. Not IG.
it.
Yeah, we're doing investigation. Like I said, we don't know if it's real. We don't know if it's not. We don't know anything about this person. It is an interesting concept that, whether staged or not, like, is this something that, if this is truly happening, are there men who are, we'll use the term, waking up to some of the tactics that women are and leaving women? Or I have no idea. I have no idea. Because my first instinct is, I would never post about this. I would never post post about this
I
in a
did.
TikTok
I
video?
did find her. I did find her. So she
Okay.
posted. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know if I can pull it up on actually TikTok. She does not have an Instagram, but I was kind of hoping that she did, so I can see what kind of post she posted. But some of the things that she said, it was kind of like almost circles back to that girl that I mentioned earlier in the beginning. Where she
Which one?
posted her mask, like her church fit, and the men in the comments were like, "You're a sloot. You didn't pose with your fiance. That's is begging for attention. You clout chaser." Like blah 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 blah. Blah. Like anything that she did, like everything she did was awful. And I'm like, there's literal corn on this website, and you're going after this girl. What's wrong with you? So something the girl, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but a few things she said in this video kind of reminded me of that. So we're gonna see if we can find it. Virgin poop.
Yeah. It just I just like to see the positive, maybe a half glass full type person. I want to try and believe and look at that aspect. Like, is this something that she is realizing herself that she didn't realize men were sorry, let me rephrase this. I don't know if she realizes, is it something on her aspect or his aspect that changed? Is it just him realizing how he was being treated, or is it, him that just got so fed up with the way that relationship was? I don't know.
I don't know
She's
either.
not taking any blame. I do agree with that, Ro. She is not taking any blame in this. She did say she's trying to improve. I do have interest in what she was saying she was improving on. Because, was it actually feasibly, tangibly improvement? Tangibly an improvement on her part? I don't know.
Let's see. She's not posted much.
Yeah.
I mean, none of her video. Okay, I'm gonna share this. None of her videos. Ooh, we're like on Detective Snoot right now.
Live on Poor Choices.
Live on Poor Choices. Sloot or not. So none of her videos, as you can see, she's clothed. I mean, maybe the guys will get mad at this one. I don't know what she's lip syncing here, copyright, all that kind of thing, but it's a cat, so really who knows. She did this one here. For those of you who can't read it, it says it's a tweet and she's agreeing kind of with it. It says, if you abandon your kid but choose to raise your other children, you are trash. If you abandon your child and choose to raise someone else's, you're even bigger trash. No child deserves to wonder why they were not enough for a parent who was capable of taking care of other children. So that tells me her father abandoned her.
Well, no, she did kind of say that was one of her insecurities
she said
about
that was an insecurity. So
yeah.
that, listen, we all have parent issues for the most, especially in this day and age. That is a whole nother parent issue. Can't even imagine dealing with it. She's not a slooty sloot, at least as far as I can tell. Now, who knows after this?
So she's engaged?
No, she's talking about nails here.
Oh, sorry. I just saw the ring on her fourth finger.
No, she's talking about how she's gotten better at doing nails. Everything you got the dog, you have this one, trying hard every single day not to have a Trisha Paytas crying moment. I don't know who that is. Talks about her dog getting older and how sad that is. And then this guy who's commenting mean things on her video, the red pill video. That's it. That's all she's got, really. So she passed that vibe check.
I suppose.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I was expecting a lot of
a lot more information, I suppose.
There's nothing.
Either way, I don't want to blame each other directly because we don't know the full story. But is it her fault? Is it his fault? I like to think it's actually both. Inherently, I think always it's both. It's never one person's fault. Even in cheating, there is a miscommunication both on their part. Now, of course, the person who's doing the cheating is mostly at fault, but there is something that's in between that is not working between the two people, and hopefully it would have been addressed before the cheating thing happened. Not saying you should always blame the other partner. The person chose to do it, but there's something that was missing. So, yeah. So,
Meaningless
uh,
speculation. I don't know that speculation is ever meaningless. I mean, I'm a true crime girl, so we always speculate on stuff because you just, I don't know, her dad abandoned her.
so
I don't think that's not an assumption.
we do that all the time inherently as human beings. We literally just saw the video and said it's her fault. Like half the chat, if not all the chat, said it's her fault. You
Yeah,
guys are speculating it's her fault.
that's fair. That's fair. We
So
don't know.
I'm calling you
we-
guys out.
and there may be a post from him. I honestly don't. Didn't see one. Like she didn't respond to it. If there was, and I have no idea how to find him. That's a whole nother FBI level of investigations.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, we always speculate about stuff. Come on. Oh, we're always speculating. That's what the human nature is. It's okay. He
Yeah,
definitely
John,
has daddy issues. Her and I were speculating. Wait, where'd it go? About
I'll
her.
say half
was
the chat. Half
abandoned.
the chat.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm sorry.
So, you know, to me, just the way she reacted to that tweet where she was like, and you guys couldn't see the video really, but it plays and she's like, yes, you know, agreeing. So that tells me that she was either completely abandoned by her dad or her dad may have had like another family and he left them for that family.
Which
That
is
would
why
be
she
my
probably was
two.
like,
Yeah, one of the two, because he's clearly like the tweet specified meant people who are raising other children. Usually, generally speaking, it's men. There's not very many women that do that, but it does happen. So I'm guessing if she specifically talked about how her dad was a problem. So 2 and 2 together, dad abandoned her. She's never really gotten over it or through it, which I don't know how you would, especially if he's raising other children. Like, wow, I'm not good enough, clearly. So screw you. Whether or not my mom is a terrible person is irrelevant. Like, clearly I'm not good enough. That's hard on a kid. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not, making excuses for her, but there are different perspectives to this that we should probably consider. Just saying.
Yep. I love how Sir versus I speculate that girl lives in her own world too much because of how she was conditioned.
And that could be very well true because that means she was raised by a single mom. We all know the statistics on single moms. So, I mean, listen, I'm not saying she's completely innocent. I'm also not saying he didn't do what she said he did. We weren't there. We're just kind of reacting to what she put on there. I do think it's sad that it's not my first time seeing something like that. I did see somebody on Twitter who is my age that responded to, I can't remember who it was. Maybe Brittany Martinez it was. I don't remember who it was. But she was like, listen, I saw one of Pearl's videos and whoa, hello. I saw one of Pearl's videos and I realized that I'm nothing and I'm worth nothing and I'll never find love and blah, 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 blah. Solely because she watched a Pearl video and saw her tweets. And I think that that's so sad. And I think it's sad in general that anybody, whether you're perfectly normal or not, lets people on the internet, celebrities, whoever, like really change who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Like you can accept realities and say, you know what, I'm older and maybe I need to do this instead of the A instead of B or B instead of A. But to see someone like Pearl or to see someone like Rollo or whoever and be like, oh, yep, well, I'm a lost cause now. Or in this girl's case, her boyfriend was like, oh, I deserve this and I need that Bugatti or whatever it was he was watching. Of course we don't know. But I think it's sad. If it is true, it's sad. And if that girl that replied on a Pearl tweet and was like, oh yeah, she just basically made me realize that I'm gonna be alone forever and I'm too old and blah 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 blah. That's also very sad. It's a sad world we're in all around. Honest.
Yup. So what
Eddie.
issue are we addressing?
All of them good. First of all, as much as I'm on social media, get rid of the freaking social media. Secondly, parents need to be more present. I don't know this is how we address them, how we fix them. I got nothing for you. We need to be more present as parents. We need to fix the marriage laws in general because they're freaking terrible. They really are. They're terrible. Also train of thought. We need to
be
stop listening to
pickier.
people on the internet, including us.
People need to be pickier about the partners they choose. I think we also need to date to, and I say marry, meaning actually committing to each other long term. Because this whole like casually dating, cuffing season, all this stuff. Like it's so stupid.
Yep.
Polycules. I don't know what else there is out there, like polyamory. Like this is getting to be ridiculous.
Or
Okay.
like those videos where like it's the video of the girl and she's going to reach to have the ring put on her finger because he's proposing to her, and every time she reaches, it's like her cleaning or her being pregnant. Like the anti-marriage ones. I don't know if you've seen those, but it's like this is not helping. It's not helping.
And yes, I do realize YouTube is a social media tool. Y'all
Mhm.
still need to go outside every now and then and hang out
Yeah.
with your friends and family, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very. Oh, hi, Digimental. You snuck in.
Bean, by the way. I appreciate you.
We love you, baby. And we will be watching, or I will be watching, The Golden Bachelor. I don't know if it started yet, but I will be
I
watching
think
that.
it's gonna be soon. So
I will be watching that because
I
I'm
love
so
that
curious.
at any age. I think that's cute.
Finally something different.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot that we can talk about. There's a lot that needs to be worked on. And do I have any answers? Absolutely not.
No, I feel
I
like we
have
need
answers for
to.
myself, but I don't have answers directly for people because
No, because
every person's different.
there's so many different answers too. I think the main answer that I think a lot of people should agree on is the marriage laws are terrible. Whether I mean mostly for men, but the marriage laws in general are terrible. I also think, and I actually highlighted this comment. Where are you? So I didn't forget. Where is it? Wouldn't it make sense to campaign for better divorce laws? Yes. Before saying that men and women should be together, maybe, because that's the main reason men don't want to marry. True. However, there are, and again, these are where your values come in, right? You're either going to be like a Destiny and you're cool with everybody doing everything, and then marriage doesn't matter, even though he and his girl supposedly got married. I don't know if that's true. There is
They're married.
marriage between you and God, which is where it started, and what the original part of it is so if you are a believer in God, then it's marriage before God, and it's marriage in incumbent, that's not the word, in accordance to the Bible and his laws, right? So if you are that way, you don't have to get married in front of the government. And I think that that's where people lose it, right? You don't have to get married in front of the government. If you're religious, you can, like, theoretically, Duke and I can go into a church and we can have the pastor marry us under God, and we're considered married. The government doesn't consider us so. So we would lose those quote unquote benefits or detriments, depending on how you look at it, that come along with marriage, right? Marriage, housing discounts, or whatever. So that's another thing you have to consider. And this is all stuff you talk about with your partner, right? If you want to get married on a piece of paper that the government signs and you get the government benefits / detriments if you ever get divorced, that's on you. You want to have that license. That's where it comes in. The women get so mad when men are like, well, it's just a piece of paper. Well, it is just a piece of paper, because marriage as a whole is a religious act in front of a God, a deity that sanctifies it, and it's this bound for life, and you raise your children and do all these things, etc. Blah, blah, blah. That's originally what it was. Then the government stepped in because they wanted money. The church stepped in because they wanted money. Whatever. And that's where we've lost it. So when men say, well, it's just a piece of paper, and we all get mad, well, they're not wrong, because the paper doesn't matter. The paper is where the legality of it comes in. So the paper is where if he were to die in a tragic accident, you get his money and you can use that to raise the kids or to help yourself or whatever. If you don't have that paper, modern day, then you're screwed and you get nothing, right? So you and your kids then have to live on their own, whatever. That's where the legality of it comes in. The divorce laws are terrible. The marriage laws are 50-50 terrible. And yeah, I do think we can change it, but unfortunately we're not there yet as a society. I can vote however I want to. I'm this much of a person in a county here in Vegas that controls the whole state. So I have no power. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I feel about marriage. If Duke were to say, you know what, let's go get married under a tree with just some priest and God watching us, done. I don't need the paper, but I do need the paper because that's what gets me on his health insurance. That's what gets his kids on his health insurance, blah, 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 blah. Right? So it's a catch-22. It's awful. And yes, it does need to change. So there's that. Anyway.
Yep. Dang.
Tugs rant number 400.
Number 14 from today.
And yes, Craig, your vows are to be taken seriously. Till death do us part mean literally till death do us part. And I don't mean murder. And I don't mean unaliving. I mean, y'all grow old together and you die together. That is the vow you took. If you can't fulfill it, don't take it. You are partners for life. That's fine. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah. Words are, I think, having value in your words, and this is something that I think that a lot of people need to put more weight on. Is, you know, if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're not going to do something, same thing. That, you know, because we have people like Mia Khalifa being like, marriage is just like, you know, do your thing. Marriage is like collecting Thanos rings almost, you know. I don't agree with that. If you promise to do things, you want to. I am only as valuable as my word that I say, and if I fail to live up to my word, I think, you know, no one's gonna believe you as much as like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. And listen, and that's where the equality thing comes in, which is where these women over the years have fought for equality, which is what started the whole thing. Like, we want voting rights, blah, 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 blah. We want to be equal to men, cool. But then they turn around, and the most recent examples, I just ranted about this, I'm pretty sure with you the other day, Kelly Clarkson and Kelsey Ballerini. Well, now Giselle Bundchen, but she hasn't really complained about it. But Kelly Clarkson and Kelsey Ballerini. Kelly Clarkson divorced her husband. She signed the divorce papers. She chose the divorce at a whale size. So kudos to him for staying with her. He was a good guy. I like him. And she's mad, and her fans are mad because she had to pay alimony. And she still does, I think. He also got, I'm pretty sure, primary custody of the kids. So that's what equality is, right? You're the breadwinner. You're Kelly freaking Clarkson. So yeah, you need to be paying child support. Yeah, you need to be paying alimony, not the other way around. He doesn't make as much as you do. And then Kelsey Ballerini left her man after however many years because, oh, it just wasn't fulfilling enough. No, ma'am, stop. Just both of you sit down. You're driving me bonkers. I can't. Kelly Clarkson was in Vegas with her residency and was just all about like changing words to a song about how her ex-husband is terrible. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, it's been years. Get over it. Secondly, again, you wanted equality. You fight for this stuff and you're mad when you get it.
She sounds like Taylor Swift.
No.
But to be fair, Taylor Swift was with her last boyfriend for a pretty long time.
You know what? And also kudos to Taylor. I will give her props. She's not married one of them. So kudos, I guess, you know, if you're just going to divorce them or break up with them years down the road anyway. Sorry about that. The British guy whose name I can't remember now. He seemed really nice. I feel bad for him. But yeah.
But also, okay, like,
I don't know.
If we didn't move in with men and we didn't have sex with men, premarital sex, there's incentive to get married.
Oh yeah.
I will say there is the, you know, red pill space. I've heard that from them a lot. That incentive is not there.
Oh, I'm wrong. Correction, Eddie. They have joint custody, which is still impressive in Hollywood, California. Pretty impressive, actually. So kudos. So that's why she has to pay the alimony or whatever it is she had to pay. So anywho, sorry, I had to correct myself. I thought he got custody, but joint is pretty good for a man this day and age. I'm impressed, actually.
The Smoking Patriot for $1.99. For the past 6+ months, he has been tweeting them offers. Oh, this is Rolo. Honestly, I haven't seen any of those tweets.
Was it before or after? I feel like he's been fighting with them for a while, but who knows, really? The days are running together. Interesting.
They blend. It feels like Vegas was literally last month, but it wasn't.
It really wasn't. It was in, April, which was a whole 18 bazillion months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Joey, yes, we have been on Rolo's podcast.
Yes, we did. I didn't say anything at all, really. She talked more than I did.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you were beside one of the most interesting human beings ever.
Oh yeah, the cult girl. She was so nice too. Yeah, I can't think of her name now.
Probably, I would love to just listen to her talk about her growing up and
just see if we can find
the cult. And yeah,
maybe she'll come. I'll have to go back and watch it. I'm sure it's still up. See if we can find her out and see if she'll come on the show. She was cool. She was
very cool. Her story was just awesome.
She was pretty based too.
Yeah. So yeah. We got Darian Murphy for $4.99 says, maybe it won't work for some women, but you have to see Pearl's other motivation. She wants men to see how some women truly are. She wins either way, which is good for her, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's making a buttload of money, but I have a question for you, Darian. What's the difference between her channel, how some women really are, than literally every other channel? Fresh and Fit, even Rolo. you know, and who is it? Mike Sarkanian, Rolo, and Mike, and the
Sartain.
whatever guys, Sartain.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? Wouldn't you want to be different? I'm not saying to like coddle the girls, but I don't know. What do I know?
Mm-hmm. But I guess we're trying to be a little different than that.
We're trying. I don't know if it's going well, but we're trying.
I mean, we're evoking a good conversation, I feel like, with the chat. So I appreciate you guys. So
Why
yeah.
did Anna go on the whatever podcast? I was on Simcast the night that she was on whatever, and I did say that I was like, this isn't really Anna's like sphere. I'm shocked she said yes, but
Yeah, I think
they
a
treated
big
her kind
part.
of weirdly though. So I don't know.
Well, that one clip with the water.
Oh, with the age thing, that was so
No,
weird,
the
right?
age and the water.
Oh, the water.
Yeah. I mean, to
I've
be
been
fair,
out. Listen,
Anna has had some weirdos out
I
there
love
after
her
her.
water.
So
No, you
yeah.
know what though? Anna loves her Mio as well, and I've met her in person a couple years ago. She was in Vegas with Peaches. I got to meet Peaches. He's a gem. I love him.
He is.
Oh, he's the best. So, she came out and we were hanging out and we got drinks and I got wine and I can't remember what she had. She had like a mojito or something cocktail. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we'll put that picture in your head. And she still put her Mio in it. It was like,
Oh, that is cute.
like,
That is cute.
yeah, you're so cute. But
I think they asked her, to be honest. I think they asked her to be on. And I mean, she is in
Yeah, and she
California,
went with
so
Brittany on purpose. Yeah, which is smart.
yeah, I would if I were her.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think if she was by herself, I don't know. I mean, we know Anna. Anna could take anyone on.
Oh, yeah.
I would not want to take Anna on.
Yeah. I was just honestly more surprised that she went than anything because it's not her sphere. Like every now and then she'll tweet something and be like, this is ridiculous, but she doesn't, at least as far as I've seen, unless she has done videos that I've missed, which is possible, she doesn't really talk about it on her channel. You know what I mean? That's more of a Chrissy Mayer, Brittany Venti, us thing. Like she doesn't normally, like she'll maybe tweet about it, but she doesn't normally do like a whole. So I was honestly shocked she went on. I was like, okay, I want to go.
Yeah. We've got Ken Burrows for 5 Canadians saying some of them never grow out of their childish mindset. I think I'm still pretty childish, to be honest.
I have childish moments. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Ken with another 5 Canadian says marriage according to the spiritual beliefs you hold, whether it is Christianity or not.
Very true. That's true. I probably should have been more specific, but yes.
And I mean,
yes.
Like my in Vietnam, people did get married, but it was quite different. You know, like people didn't use rings. They offered animals and valuables for people. It sounds so weird to say out loud. And just the whole marriage thing was quite different. It was more advantageous to send women out to be married out to men than it was to keep them. So you did it for things like that, you know. And Frank Hool for 5 gifted Poor Choices membership. Thank you so much for gifting those. Thank you. So yeah, gosh, there's been so much chatting today. I felt like this was probably the most like we've interacted.
We had like 75 people watching at one point. I was like, I didn't want to make it a big deal, but it's a big deal.
No, it is childlike, not childish. No, I'm childish.
Well, I mean, listen, we all have our moments. Okay, even you men.
Pee pee. I said the pee pee word. So, oh gosh. Okay, here. Sexless marriages occur because women marry men that they are not attracted to. This is something men would never do.
Yeah, well, that's what they call like settling, right? But you made that choice. First of all, you made the choice to date the guy, even though you were like, you made the choice to date the guy. Then you made the choice to stay with the guy. And then you made the choice to get to the point where he asked you to marry him and you thought saying yes was a good idea. That's on you, girl. Make it work. Or don't do it to begin with. Like, what? Hello? Use your brain. I can't with these people.
Yeah. God. And we can get into the biology of it too. Women's sex drives go down too. And women don't need physicality as much as men do in a relationship. But that's why if you actually talk about this in a relationship, be like, okay, what do you need? We need to keep this up, because that's part of how men feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm generalizing in all men. And if you personally need that, then that's something maybe you guys should have a conversation about in a marriage. Wow. Most of us like playing games with guns and or big stompy robots. We have our
Or the Roman Empire.
Yes. How many times have you guys thought about the Roman Empire today? It's like at least 3 today for
My
me.
new favorite question, honestly.
Oh God. Darren Murphy for another $5. Perhaps Pearl could be a little different, but it's not her against Fresh and Fit and Rolo. It's them against all other social media, which is all fanatically
That's
feminist. And that is also untrue. I don't think that all other media is fanatically feminist. Like, you go to even just our space that we talk about nerd stuff and we talk about anti-feminist behavior. And I think that like we want people to get along and be able to have their own opinions and have ideology out of our entertainment. But I don't think that necessarily we are mean about it. Are we?
I don't think I am. Maybe I am.
I am.
Maybe
Maybe
because
if
we
I
just
am,
don't
call me
understand
out.
about the Roman
If I
Empire.
am, call me out. I would love to hear that.
You're not mainstream. That's fair. Thank God.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. No, mainstream media. We'll go with that. Mainstream media. So thank you, Darian, for that clarification. Because I was like, social media. I'm like, technically we're on social media. So I didn't want to lump ourselves into that per se. So yeah. Okay. There we go.
I wasn't thinking about the Roman Empire until you mentioned it. Yes, you were. Don't lie.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Honestly, it is fascinating though. If you ever haven't done it yet, do research on the old Roman Empire, and then like close your mind off, do your research, and then do the research again and compare it to now, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, we're the Roman Empire." Anyway, that's a argument. Am I a man? I might be a man.
What did the Roman Empire?
Nothing.
Lots. Okay. Beautiful statues. Lots of writing and books. We probably recovered from them. We had, besides the statues, just artwork in general, pottery.
They have a whole history
system.
lesson for politics, but we won't pay attention. So there's that, which is why we're ending up like they are right now. It's crazy.
I will say this. I did Roman history in university and Greek history. I like Greek history more because people just didn't name every single person that was in power. Marcus Aurelius, the first, second, third.
Somebody should just stab Caesar.
I really hated that there was like 16 Marcus Aureliuses out there. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. So
you know, when you have a good name.
Oh my God. So Discord says toga college parties.
Yeah.
That is actually true. I really did like those. Oh gosh. Ken Burrows for Canadian. Thank you so much. The way our cities are made. Ooh. Is that what you thought about today with the Roman Empire?
Oh.
Ken? And Cerberus, did I already say about the gifted memberships? Oh my God, my mind is going all over the place now. Okay. In case I didn't.
No, he just did it. He just did it.
Thank you so much for gifting 10 Poor Choices memberships. That is 15 extra names that have green letters. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think, is this your first time here today? I hope we've had like a good enriching conversation. You know, I don't hate everyone at the end of this. You're on the other, well, actually there's no other side on my part, but it always feels that way when you have like a bit of a back and forth debate. Like, is this an argument? No, it's a debate. And I think that these types of conversations hopefully will enrich people or make people more aware about different aspects of relationships. And I know I'm vastly different from a lot of women, and I think Tugs is too. Like,
I try.
It's very hard because yes, I have always considered myself a feminist, And I'll say, not knowing about the different waves, because God, there's probably going to be like 6 waves in like 10 years. But yeah, first wave feminism, absolutely. Adrian says, that being said, none of the solutions are easy to implement, all academic. It would take generations to change things.
Yeah.
I honestly think that we're seeing a little bit of a swing, and where I'm interested to like just like watch the world is the more people who go towards traditional values and spend more time with kids, and the anti-social media age, whenever that comes about. Because one day I hope this happens. They're like, analog is cool. I don't want anything with electricity, right? That would be an amazing feat to see the world kind of go that way and kind of
I wish.
deny this. Because the less we are in this, the more we're involved with our families, the better it is, especially with like even just friendships and relationships. One thing I always hate when I'm with friends or family, phones.
Oh my God, everybody's always scrolling on their dang phone. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too.
I'm guilty of it too. But I like, and I force myself to, phone down and away or in my bag, because that's just respectful.
Yeah. Technology has been our greatest detriment and also our greatest achievement. It's wild to think about, because without technology, some things like you couldn't come see me, and we couldn't be doing this right now. But also, this is the devil.
But
the devil.
Wait, analog doesn't mean without electricity. Did I have a bimbo moment?
I don't know. I understood what you were saying.
Yeah.
Now that Holocron says that, I don't think that was the right word, but I understood you.
For hearing me and seeing me for my bimbo-ness.
It's fine. I know what you're saying. Off grid, whatever.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, you just be more unplugged, essentially.
Yeah. That.
Essentially. And it's so funny because like my dad and I will have conversations. He's like, yeah, you guys just need to like have a day without your phones, without anything. You just wake up, get out of bed, go outside, do something. And I'm like, oh, Dad, you're speaking my language and I love it. So yeah. This should be a rule. No phones at the dinner table.
We used to do, so when I worked at the Venetian Hotel, when we would all go out together, a group of us would go out. If we were doing dinner, we would had the rule, and it wasn't even that bad. Like even 2016 wasn't terrible, but these were a thing. Not as bad as they are now, but they still were a thing. And we would put them down, and the first person to reach for their phone that wasn't getting like a phone call, but if you were to reach it just to scroll, you had to pay for dinner. For everybody.
Hey, I like that. This would be the only place that this wouldn't work. Content houses, YouTuber meetups. We're always on our phones. It is horrible because like work is on our phone, and those are work trips. That's the only time I like give concession to that, because
But even like if it's just the two of us when we go out to dinner or whatever, like we aren't usually on our phones.
No, because well, you and I, we're going out as like friends. Like if we hang out, not as content creating.
It's the one thing like that drives me bonkers about being in the community. Max is pretty good at it. You're pretty good with it. Dr. Rachel and all them are pretty good with it. But like Ryan, Jeremy, Gary, I'm like, I would like to smash your freaking phone, Jay. Oh, and listen, it's the job, and I get it, but at the same time, like, put it away. We're having dinner. It's fine. You can be off your phone for an hour to eat dinner and enjoy the moment. It's okay. That's my one thing about I love all of you. I do, but oh my God, the YouTube people with their phones, I can't. It drives me crazy.
Always on their phones. Ken for Two Canadians says, "You are women I can relate to." Oh. But you can relate to a woman? I thought Hollywood said you couldn't. No, I'm kidding.
I heard that wasn't possible.
I love that. Thank you. That's very kind. And Andrew Matthews for £5 says, I save things like doggo videos to show my friends on my phone. See, that's fine. Fine. I don't imagine you're a person that's like stuck to their phone, where it almost feels like when this was a real issue for me, that I realized that I was too phone dependent, and this was pre-YouTube as a job, was, when you'd forget your phone at home and you would feel lost at
Oh,
work
you panic. Yeah, that's a
all
problem.
the time. So then I was like, I'm addicted to this. So yeah,
Mhm.
it is nice to just, yeah, I literally hate my phone so much. So I'm actually researching,
It's
I'm getting
also
it down.
bad for you, by the way. Fun fact for those of you who have not researched this, this is slowly killing us. Fun fact.
Yeah, I'm getting a flip phone for that I will actually carry on me always. This is gonna have like work hours for to actually respond to, and
I
I can't
miss
wait
flip
for that.
phones. I really do. I long for
Wait
the
for that.
days where I can get a pink Razor phone. I miss them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I miss them.
So
Single Guy Cooking says, I feel like Gary is trying to read the same thing for 10 minutes. Because I'm scrolling. You're not wrong.
100 words takes a long time for Gary to scroll through, but because his fold is so big, it's so much easier for him to be able to look at more things at
Yeah.
once.
He just carries a whole iPad around with it. It's fine.
Oh my God. It feels like that sometimes. It really does, because how big that thing is. I will say that phone, it probably is one of the best phones out there. Using it, it's so cool. It's so cool. So yeah. Today was a fruitful conversation. I think we've made great strides for having hopefully a good faith conversation with you
I hope
guys.
so.
I want to do more of this for sure, these types of sip and chill. And yeah, if you guys haven't yet, please sub to the channel, like the video. And next week, we have a couple guests that are coming on the show. So we have Epic Mike on Tuesday for Dadcast.
Daddy Cast.
Daddy Cast.
I'm gonna say that to him when he comes on. I'm gonna be like, "Welcome to
Oh, no.
Daddy Cast," and see what he does.
He'll love it. He'll love it. Oh my
He'll love it.
gosh.
He'll be like fluffing his hair, like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. And Rebecca Barrett is coming on next week for that time of the month.
Wait,
on
is it next
Wednesday.
week or is oh my God, is it October
It's
already?
October next week.
Holy shnikes. Oh, Rebecca Barrett. I love her. If you guys have not watched Rebecca's, and she's done like a revamp on her channel, you have to go watch Rebecca Barrett's. I'm sure Holocron and Hokies will find it in about 2 seconds. Rebecca Barrett's channel. I absolutely adore her. She's got a baby. She just dropped some merch, and she loves being a wife. And she's like a trad mom-ish, feminist, liberal turned. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but anyway, she's great. We love Rebecca.
Yes, Dadcast will be 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, that time of the month, or Sip and Chills, us hanging out, will be on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. for about an hour and a half to 2 hours in between there. When is Shad coming on? I don't know 100% yet. I haven't gotten back with him. We rescheduled. I hope he's feeling better. And yeah, because I know he's busy over the next couple of weeks, because Mark is trying to get him on for human cyborg relations as well. So Naman's the Retuber says, just wanted to comment that the thumbnail is S tier, great art. This was done by No Name Reviewer on Twitter, which is linked in the description. So if you actually like the art, the account will do art for a certain price. And yeah, I have my icon and the real BBC thumbnail. All that is done by No Name Reviewer. So yeah. Oh, we got another super chat before we go.
And no, I'm so sorry, John. I have not looked at Nick Freitas. Freitas. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've not looked at him yet. But he's on the list. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list. Okay, you read the super chat then.
From Marcus. Marcus Henry from 999. I noticed that a lot of red pill stuff got popular after the Johnny Depp trial. I never put that together, but you're so right. I think this Russell Brand stuff will amp stuff up again, to be honest. Ooh, depending on how that goes. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh,
right.
yeah, because it's a lot of he said, she said. And I just, it's a shame, unfortunately, but that has to come up. But I will say, because of the Depp trial, I think that women's voices aren't overpowering now, and maybe the equalizing factor started coming back. or at least that's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? Because yes, at the beginning of the Me Too movement, I think that a lot of people did realize, yeah, maybe we did ignore a lot of women. But then I don't want to ignore the fact that there are victims out there. But then people started taking advantage. It's always the insidious people that want to use that to their advantage. And it really does suck, especially for the actual victims. And that's what we have seen, at least with Amber Heard. It's what we're speculating with what Russell Brand is happening. And from what people have been presenting, I tend to want to see the evidence first before I point fingers.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's where, but if we could go on a rant about that, but
so thank you, Marcus, for the super chat. So Tugs, anything going on this week?
Hey, so fun fact, I will probably be streaming this weekend, finally. Yay! We're back at it, maybe.
Nice.
Tomorrow I have one last walkthrough at the house, the old house, to make sure I got to clean like the downstairs bathroom and the kitchen and make sure everything's out and double check, little nitpicky stuff. And then Friday we're turning in the keys, and so I will be permanently here. Like it'll be done finally. So Saturday, my plan is to get up early, do some organizing in this place, and then streaming. Finally, yay! So
wow, Craig, don't you dare!
It's been 2 weeks of chaos, but we're good. So
I know. I feel like you've been moving for like months.
I know. When in reality, it's really only been like 2 weeks, which is, I think, personally pretty impressive. But 2.5 weeks. So, but the Friday is the last day, so we're gonna turn the keys in and all that stuff Friday. And then we will be the new adventure officially starts. And the next time you guys see me game, it'll be 100% in here. Hopefully, a little bit less chaotic over here, and eventually we will hit the road out of state. I'll let you guys know when that happens.
It'll be so exciting. So exciting. Here. Tug's gonna change your P.O. box.
Not at the moment. It's still the same for now. Through the end of December, it's still the same. So I'll let you know if it changes, though, because depending on how that guy's interview goes within the next couple of weeks, I might have to change it. But we're gonna go. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. But right now, it's the same, so you're good.
Okay, I think chat's trying to troll me. I don't like this. Let's all be Marcus Aurelius. Okay, but you just have 1, 2, 3. You have to figure out who's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the chat. So I extra girl and everything, as well as of course here on Poor Choices. Please sub. We're trying to really grow more our channel. We want more content. We want to actually hopefully do more video stuff as well. And it's a process, and I think Tugs moving, getting settled, hopefully more settled in the next couple weeks or months, and then we can go from there.
The minute I get completely settled, we're gonna have to pack up and move again. What?
That?
What?
Your name? I hate you. I hate you so much. I'm being trolled by everyone, including my co-host.
You had to do it.
Hey, Marcus.
I honestly thought it was going to take you longer to notice.
Yeah, so I have a new co-host named Marcus now. She's transitioning.
Yeah. Come at me, bro.
And now I'll always think about the Roman Empire.
Tips on gluteus maximus. Oh, I should have put that.
Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, let's see. Lots of good stuff in the future. Hopefully we can pump out more content, and thank you guys for being good debaters. You are master debaters in our eyes. I had to. So we will see you guys next week, of course, with Epic Mike on Tuesday for Dadcast, and Rebecca Barrett on Wednesday for that time of the month. And we'll see you then.
Fangirling.
Bye.
Good night.